Hello again. So it's been 5 days since the tear, and my name is Alex. So I went and saw the orthopedic surgeon earlier this afternoon. By the way, I'm going to try to not to make this too long, but just go over some of my thoughts and what we talked about and things like that. And then I'll show you how my arm is doing and give you some news towards the end of something I just literally just got done trying. So, all right. So went and saw the orthopedic surgeon at about 1:30 this afternoon. He took one look at me and kind of assumed the sale that, oh yeah, this guy's going to want to fix. He's like, I know you're 46, but you look like a, really young 46, somebody that's still very active. And I was like, yes, I am. However, what I want is not necessarily what he thought that I wanted. In other words, to stay at 235 pounds, have big muscles, and, be able to still bench press 300 pounds. I don't care about that stuff anymore. I really don't. As a matter of fact, I haven't tried to bench 300 pounds since probably my birthday or something like that. I usually don't go heavy anymore because of stuff like what happened last week. I know that the older I get, because of the what I've put my body through, since I've been alive, has been pretty extensive. Played a lot of different sports, was in the Marine Corps, done all kinds of crazy stuff. So the fact of the matter is I want to have functionality, and I want to be able to play golf. Because I plan on playing golf until, like my grandfather, a week and a half before he died, we were at the driving range hitting balls. Okay? And he was 95 when he passed. So that's my goal, is to be able to play golf, at a decent level and play it for the rest of my life. Every other sport, I don't really care about. They're fun and everything, but while my brain tells me that I'm 25, my body says otherwise. So I'm going to listen to my body. This was a kind of an inflection point in my life. The Achilles was definitely one when it came to basketball and sports like that. And then this is one for if you've seen any of my previous videos, I do some pretty crazy exercises. I don't need to do those, right? I can find other ways to do strengthen my body in a much safer manner. So that being said, I told him, I asked him several questions, and I said, because he didn't bring up any risk factors or anything like that. So I was like, hey, what about the risks? I said, I'm an avid golfer, and I don't want to lose the ability to golf. Could there be any side effects or unwanted direct effects, right, of the surgery? So at that point in time, he said yes. He said there's one nerve that they hit on a regular basis, something like 80% of the time, and there's numbness in basically your on the outside of your elbow and maybe a little bit up the forearm. And then he said there's a secondary. He said his technique is less likely to hit this nerve, but he said if it hits that nerve, it can lead to the inability, at least for a while. And he was like, it could take quite a while to get full function back, but to be able to extend the wrist like this, right? Well, for me, that's unacceptable. Because in the golf swing, through, at impact, through, and then after impact, I need to be able to have extension in the golf swing, right? So I don't care so much about supination, right? This motion, I have it. It's just fine. I have pretty much full range of motion right now. And pronation as well. I can pronate, supinate, and I can do it with strength. I have no problem doing daily tasks. I've been walking around, no sling on, just kind of living life right now. So after that, he's like, wow, I really didn't think about that. He's kind of a young guy. So he's like, I've never had anybody tell me that. Like, hey, golf is more important than having my arm, back to quote unquote 100%, which it never will be. My right leg is still not back after 5.5 years after the surgery. So I know that, my bicep, and I don't care about the aesthetics, I really don't. I can, as most of you know, especially if you're older, you can work out with light weight and still achieve hypertrophy, right? The older you get, that's an easier thing to achieve. So I don't need to lift heavy weights. As long as I have functional strength, I'm good. I can live with it, and that's it. Because he said, basically, if I get the surgery, it could be up to 6 months before I'm hitting a golf ball again. Maybe a year before I can do it at the same level as I was. I basically told him, I was like, I'm pretty sure I can swing a golf club right now. And he's like, well, go home, do it. See how it feels. Because that may weigh into your whether or not you have surgical or a non-surgical rehab. So about 15 minutes ago, right before this video, I went outside and I went to Walmart. Right before that, I bought a Tommy Copper elbow sleeve or arm sleeve. I put the arm sleeve on. Actually felt really good. I'm not gonna lie. Felt really good, nice and compressed. And I made a few swings, and I was a little bit scared of actually hitting a ball and making contact with the ground. But I went and got a shag ball out of the garage, and I hit 2 balls. The first one was a little tentative. Second one, I made a good golf swing. Went at it at 65%. But, just nice and relaxed. But just wanted to see. And I actually hit it really well. I hit a gap wedge, just something light and short. Hit a gap wedge, probably went 120 yards, and it felt great. No pain, no nothing. And I did take a small divot, and, nothing. So what that tells me is, even though I am getting an MRI done tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning, whatever the results of that MRI, I don't know if he can convince me to have surgery. I've been watching a lot of other people, and and reading up a lot of National Institute of Health articles where they've done studies on stuff. And I even asked him, I said, what's going to be the difference? How much strength am I actually going to lose? And he's like, well, you'll lose a good portion, maybe 10 to 30% supination and curling power. And, I don't know. Let's put it this way. The cons, potential nerve damage, infection. You're going under general anesthesia, so, even though I'm fairly healthy, you never know. Obviously the short term, a lot of, if you've ever had your arm in a cast, that it's very difficult to bathe and put clothes on and off and, take clothes on and off and stuff like that. So, that's short term. I know fatigue. Fatigue is usually the biggest difference between people that have surgical and non-surgical intervention after a distal bicep tear. So the fatigue, I don't know that I care. I'm a recruiter by trade, so I sit at a desk doing my work, and I type. So, I'm not a construction worker or a factory worker or something where I'm doing it's supinated motion a lot where I'm like turning wrenches or turning screwdrivers or anything like that. So I don't know that the fatigue will come into play much in my life. So those are the things I'm taking into consideration. I'll have the MRI tomorrow, and then I have a follow-up on Wednesday morning with the surgeon again to talk about it, because he wants me to have surgery on Thursday if I choose to do so. We'll see. I think I'm about 85% sure that I'm not going to have surgery. I'm very high functioning. I'm holding the camera right now with this arm. See? Like, I'm very high functioning right now because my right arm got tired, so I'm holding it with my left. Like, and I'm only 5 days in. 6 weeks from now, I kind of feel like with rehab, with physical therapy, I kind of feel like I'm going to be good. I'm going to be on the path of getting back to full health and being able to run and, do all the things that I love doing. So, and play golf, most importantly. With that being said, I'll show you my arm. Oh, and I guess I let the cat out of the bag a little bit early. So the surprise I was going to tell you is that I was able to hit a golf ball 5 days after a distal bicep tear, and hit it well. I probably hit that gap wedge, like I said, about 120 yards. So not too bad. Definitely, not going after it. Don't want to tear anything else or be done with it, but that's very, very exciting to me. So I'll go ahead and show you the arm and then let you go for today. I got one more thing for you after I show you my arm. All right. So it's still pretty bruised up. See, I still have, good. I can still flex the forearm and stuff like that. We'll see after the MRI if there's any remaining fixture of the bicep to my, to the bone on my forearm where it's supposed to, or if it's completely gone. But either way, yeah. Just wanted to let you know too that I'm going to try to do a review for my simulator setup. I think I mentioned that maybe in a previous video, not since I tore my bicep, but previously I may have mentioned that. So I want to go ahead and do that for you guys because I know it's the middle of the summer right now, so you don't need to do anything with the simulator, but winter's around the corner. So the good thing is to plan it out and like purchase things, if you're going to do it yourself, do DIY simulator, maybe, buy things separately like I did and put them all together. I saved a lot of money doing so. So I'm going to be doing a simulator review very shortly. And yeah, that's what I had for you. So with all that being said, thanks for following my journey. Stay tuned for more. I will be posting again after tomorrow.